Welcome to Istanbul. What a game we have ahead of you here this evening. EuroLeague women action between Galatasaray and Sopron. This is a top-of-the-table tussle between first and second in Group B, with the winner likely leaving Week 6 leading the group. Both these teams are 5 games through what will be a 14-game regular season, and things are looking good for both across the competition. Plenty more action across EuroLeague Women's tonight, 8 other games taking place. Really starting to heat up. Here's the group, as you can see. Sopron sit top of the table, a 4-1 record. Galatasaray, unbelievable turnaround. First 2 weeks of the regular season, picking up 2 losses. They've gone on a 3-0 run since then, and shaping up to make a run to go deep into the tournament round about now. As we can see, it's the top 4 teams that will progress as we get close to the Christmas break. I'm sure no one's mind is on that's on the hardwood right now here in Istanbul. Galatasaray, as I said, tough start to the season, losing those first 2 games. That was against Fenerbahce and Kursk, but they're now on a 3-game winning streak with wins over Gdynia, Londey and Girona. Galatasaray will be determined to surpass that quarter-final exit they had last season, and the way they're playing in the last 2 weeks, it certainly looks like things could go their way. As for the home team, Sopron, well, they've been impressive this season. Dispatched Girona, Gdynia and Schio in the first 3 weeks. Their winning run came to a halt in week 3. Unbelievably, here in Istanbul as well, they lost by 26 points to Fenerbahce. But they got things back on track last week. A strong 6-point win over Kursk. Waiting for the player introductions now for both teams.
Ki daha önce de ülkemize bir dönem Beşiktaş ve Orduspor'da da oynamıştı. Şu anda oyuncular taraftarlara tanıtılıyor. Tabii Jelena Brooks'tan bahsetmişken yine bir ayrı parantezle Çin'e karşımak lazım. Krajnik'te yine eski takımına karşı forma giyecek.
Much of their European forage has been impressive so far this season. Domestically, they've been untouchable. 9 wins, 0 losses. The top of their domestic league. Sopron, success is their defence, currently 3rd best in the group. And you do have a feeling that if the Sopron team can keep Galatasaray to under 70 points, there's a high chance that they're going to walk away back onto the plane with the win in their kit bag. As for the home team, again, a mixed start to the season domestically. 3 wins, 2 losses. They sit second in their domestic table at the moment with that record. The damage to Galatasaray over the last few weeks within EuroLeague Women has been in the paint. Over half of their points are coming from in the paint. And they do have an unbelievably impressive front court. However, they've added additional firepower to their roster if it needed it. Kayla Davis has made the trip across from Tenerife. She was playing in Euro Cup for them. This is her second spell in Galatasaray. The 26-year-old shooting guard is expected to make an impact straight away for the Turkish team. Just moments away now from the opening tip here in Istanbul. And both the teams are getting into their preparations. And Sopron will enter the game as slight favourites. However, the form that Galatasaray have been in the last few weeks in EuroLeague Women has been really untouchable. So it'll be interesting to see how these games play, how the game plays out today. As I say, Sopron slight favourites going into the game. Plenty of talent on both rosters, though. There's going to be some key battles across the floor, probably none more so than the lady there that you see just walking away clapping, Tina Krajnik, having a phenomenal season, 19 points and 9.2 rebounds a game average across the 5 games so far. And bear in mind, she's going up against her old team as well. She's also at the moment leading the MVP tracker. Five weeks in, and she's seen as the hottest property in EuroLeague Women so far. but she will be going up against her old team, as I say, and likely to be battling in the paint against one of her old training buddies, Bernadette Hattar. She's no shy flower in the paint either. She certainly goes and puts the shift in. She's averaging just shy of a double-double as well, 13.6 points, 9.2 rebounds a game. Both of those are two of the best bigs in world basketball. No two ways about that. So we're looking forward to that battle in the paint here tonight. Just a few minutes away from the opening tip here. There are our officials for this evening: Viola Georgi, Yasmina Alcaraz Moreno, and Ivana Ivanovic from Norway, Spain, and Serbia, respectively. Phenomenal officiating crew, and they're going to have to be on their top game. This should be a wonderful game for them to officiate, so it's good to have a top crew. Here's our starting five for Sopron: Williams, Fegvernik, Hattar, January, and Brooks. As I say, an impressive five to start the game, and Coach Gaspar has really got, once again, his team playing a great brand of basketball. He's been head coach of Sopron since 2018. He's certainly had some big games under his tenure as head coach, leading them. But he'll also know that he wants to push his team further and further. Here's a starting five for Galatasaray. We've got Williams, Guljan, Bilgic, Steinberger, and Krajicnik. And it is that combination of Steinberger and Krajicnik that are just absolutely terrifying. You find me a better front court in any team anywhere in the world, and I'll be impressed. A phenomenal front court pairing for Galatasaray. Coach Gouvan getting his last instructions across to his team, and how much he would be love to be responsible for recapturing the glory of 2014 when Galatasaray won their one and only EuroLeague Women Championship. Slow start to the season, but he certainly righted the ship in the past few weeks, putting on some impressive performances and claiming some big scalps. As for these two teams, last time they met was almost 2 years ago in EuroLeague Women. That night, Sopron came away with a strong 12-point win. In total, these two teams have met 6 times in EuroLeague Women, Sopron taking 4 of those, whilst Galatasaray have to look back all the way to January 2016 to find their last win in this matchup. Be interesting to see where this game is won and lost. Coach Gouvan, as always, will lean on his bigs, and you wonder, is it going to come down to, can Sopron make this more a perimeter game? Can they limit the impact of the front court of Galatasaray? If they can, that puts them in as favourites. Neither team are really focused on the fast break. Expect a real half-court battle. And if everything goes to plan for us neutrals that are lucky enough to watch this one, there should be an early Christmas treat, as both these teams really are going to exhibit and have been exhibiting some of the best basketball in Europe so far this season. The fives for each team getting their final conversations in, final little tweaks, a bit of psychology from the leaders within the team as well. Before we get underway, just a reminder before we get to the opening tip, best way to stay up to date with all that is EuroLeague Women's is to download the app. Available on iOS and Android, so there's no excuses. Get your devices out now, get that downloaded. You'll be able to follow the box score through as this game progresses. You'll also be able to catch up with the press conferences, highlight videos, features, plenty of content for you to get your hands on. It's absolutely a must for any basketball fans. Slight confusion in the moment, just waiting to see what they're asking for. I think it's just for one of the Galatasaray players to cover up her playing jersey while she's on the bench. Krajicek giving up 18 centimetres on Hattar in this opening tip. And that really is, for me, the one that I've been looking forward to, seeing these two players going toe-to-toe. And we're underway. Game day 6 here. EuroLeague Women. Galatasaray taking on the table-topping Sopron. The noise in the arena starts nice and early. The Galatasaray fans are being heard. Williams drives strong to the basket, but has it stripped away by her namesake, Riquna Williams. Fegvanek feeds Williams. Good ball movement. Sopron looking to be quite fluid offensively early on. Ball goes inside. Hattar gets the early 2. First points in the paint. First blood drawn is in favour of Sopron. And Bilgic just throws it away. Unusual mistake from Pelin Bilgic. One of the absolute hearts of the Galatasaray roster. Fegvanek now looking for options in front of her. Not much movement from Sopron, a little bit too static. Fegvanek now spins it, corner, Brooks. Can't get the 3, rebound pulled down by Bilgic. Uses the screen from Krajicek at the top. Has to come back out to Williams. Good patience by Galatasaray. Shot goes up. Steinberger off target. Unusual to see that shot coming from Steinberger. It's on the hardwood. Some body being sacrificed there by Bilgic. She'll put the 3 up. Back of the iron and away, and Hattar gets the rebound. Pass inside, using the size early on, and Sopron, early domination in the paint. And you have a feeling that Steinberger and Krajicek are going to have the toughest night of the season so far. Inside to Steinberger, back to the basket, goes strong, uses the pivot well. Doesn't get the score though. Krajicek pulls down the rebound. She's going to have to come back out. Guljan off the leg and away, so it will turn over to Sopron. And this is the key for Sopron. Can they win the interior battle? If they can, it definitely seals their stance as favourites. And so far, Hattar has put them into that position. Fegvanek pulls up, mid-range 2 is good, and an early 6-point lead. This is not going to script for the home team. They enter the game on a 3-game win streak. 2.5 minutes gone and they're yet to score. Williams looking for options, nothing there. Krajicek's going to look to back down. Hattar uses the quick foot speed. And that little pivot, that little change of direction was enough to open the lane up for her. And Galatasaray break the seal on the basket. Foul's going to be called on Melis Guljan. Yeah, easy one for the officials to call. I don't think there was any argument from Guljan either. It will be sideline possession for Sopron. I think the officials are just having a word again with the Galatasaray bench. Coach Gouvin having to pass on the message to his players, probably about standing up. I think the officials concerned about maybe the number of people on the bench. That's been sorted. We can get back to everything that we want, which is the action on the floor. Fegvanek now looking inside. Nice entry pass. And that's a strong move, but a little bit too strong from Jelena Brooks. Williams goes up fouled. She'll earn herself a trip to the line. Connor Williams certainly stepped up last week. Big performance, 17.8 assists against Girona in that win. The veteran point guard coming in and bringing some steady nerves to what must have been a little bit jittery after 2 weeks of the regular season here in EuroLeague Women for Galatasaray. 2 losses. I'm sure they weren't expecting to start the season that way. They've compiled a very impressive roster. Some real top talent. This is the second. That's off the fingertips, though, of Chopron, so it's going to remain Galatasaray ball. Jelena could not hold on to that one. Oh, that's a tough one for the officials to call. I don't fancy calling that either way. Williams now moves the ball well. Aydin looking to shape up. Drives inside, the door shut. Krajicek steps back, drains the big three. And that will tie the game. After a slow start, Galatasaray is slowly but surely warming up into this one. Atar now hands it off. Shot's too heavy. Williams flies through and pulls down the rebound. Good defense by Chopron, rotating well. Has to heave a tough shot, manages to get the iron. Rebound falls to Atar, stolen away by Krajicek. Unselfish play, maybe she should have been selfish. She handed it off, and Bilgic couldn't get the shot to go, even though it was really short range and wide open. Brooks now hands it off to Fegvanek. January. Turnaround jumper for Atar, and that's a concern as well. But that just shows the absolute quality that she has. Back to the basket, inside down low. But you can't leave her wide open from the mid-range either. She'll score in a variety of ways. Into the corner, Aydin, three, nails it. Galatasaray take their first lead of the game. A little under 5 minutes played here in the first quarter. Galatasaray 9, Chopron 8. Brooks now. Back to January. A little bit static offensively, Chopron. Brooks goes up, knocked away. Good defense by Raquana Williams. Oh, there's the crossover. She'll have to slow it down now, though. Aydin uses the screen well, but pivots back into trouble. Shot goes up from range from Steinberger. That's off the hands of Williams. So it will remain Galatasaray ball as usual. Bilgic hustling every last sinew to gain possession. Oh, in fact, that last shot I think was downgraded to a 2, not a 3. So we're tied. Galatasaray still yet to have their first lead. Krajicek now drives inside and swatted away by Bernadette Atar. Complaining to the officials that she's getting some elbows into the game. For the first time comes Kayla Davis. Her second spell at the club. Certainly wants to repeat the success she had in her first, part of the Galatasaray team that went on to win Euro Cup that year. Shot goes up, and straight away we have Williams in for the bucket, and that is Galatasaray's first lead. 4 points now for Raquana Williams, and she certainly inserted herself into the game. A real positive force. Gabby Williams comes back the other way. What's the call? A blocking foul is going to be the call on Aydin. Slightly low-scoring game, but it's being played at a pace. The game's not being slow, that's for sure. Both teams being quite direct, quite fluid offensively. It's a replay of Aydin picking up the blocking foul. Her first personal, second team foul of the quarter for Galatasaray. Into the corner, shot fake, steps in and nails the jumper. And that's just cold from Jelena Brooks. She nails the mid-range two, and it looked near automatic for her. Williams now, a little hesitation, looks to create space, but loses the handle. Chopron out at the races. Gabby Williams coming back the other way. Ivanovic moves it back to the top. In and out. No good this time. Neither team's offense is firing at the moment. Steinberger open, should have gone straight up. Couple of hesitations though, creates enough space for her to get the shot away. Steinberger, another one of those very impressive Galatasaray players this season, averaging just short of 16 points and 7 rebounds a game. Brooks now looking to feed Hattar. Hattar working so hard against Krajicek. Strong move to the basket. Foul's going to be called. Petty putting everything on the line as she just manages to get herself past Kayla Davis. In fact, offensive foul's going to be called. A hooking foul is the call by the officials. So Petty picks up the foul, and you can see it in the replay. It's not called as often as it maybe once was. But just that elbow round the back of the player to ease them out of the lane. It's the right call by the official. Williams now, crossover a little bit, almost too fast for herself. Krajicek looking to back down, going up against Gay. Krajicek manages to hold on to it after almost losing possession. Shot clock's run out though. That one's going to get waved away. Great defense by Chopron. Substitution for Chopron. Hawkeye will come into the game. Galatasaray will also make the change as well. In fact, yeah, Galatasaray have made the change. Ashalan into the action for the first time tonight for the Turkish team. Brooks now looking to probe her way in, nothing there. Gabby Williams will bring it back to the top. Shot clock at 5. Brooks for 3. Comes up short, rebounding, goes loose. Eventually into the hands of Steinberger. She'll put some pace behind it. Williams for 3, in and out. And Chopron will go into transition the other way. Lovely little crossover into a sweet, sweet shooting action for Gabby Williams. Her first points of the game. Davis slides inside, has it swatted away by Abby Gay. Just tracked the drive all the way. Great work by 26-year-old French international. Long outlet pass to Steinberger. And that's a travelling violation. Easy one for the officials to call. It was a nice move, just the footwork and the dribbling didn't match up. Petty goes inside, uses the glass, nothing there. Long rebound though. Jumper no good. Neither team shooting exceptionally well here in the first quarter. But from the neutral's perspective, it might be low scoring. We kind of expected it to be slightly low scoring. Both these teams defensively very, very good. Bill Gitch looking to shake the defense. Gets the shot away, but to be fair, Shea Petty was all over that one. Aydin creates some space. Back out to Bilgic inside. Steinberger gets the and one play, and that's just straightforward, tough basketball. 1 second left on the shot clock. Pure patience by Galatasaray. There's the pass. Plays it well, and it's that right hand from Varga onto the hip of Steinberger, and that will send Steinberger for the free throw, shooting 91% from the free throw line. Anita Steinberger before tonight's game. And there's the jinx for you. And this is from the charity stripe into the final minute of this first quarter. Jovanovic hands it off into the hands of Gay. Gay, elbow jumper, comes up short. Just didn't look to have the confidence when she released that one. Bilgic now uses the Horns offense. Waits for another screen to be set. There's the roll from Basharan. Shot goes up from Bilgic. Nothing there, and Chopin are fighting themselves for the rebound. Shot clock turned off. Chopin will look to take the last shot of this first quarter. Aydin with huge pressure for Galatasaray. Fouls. Quite a smart play there by Merve Aydin. Team's not in the penalty. She hasn't got a foul yet, so why not put a little bit more pressure on? Risk yourself a foul. She has, in fact, that's her second foul as we see Yilmaz come into the game. Right intention, but maybe it should have been another player going after the steal. Bilgic is going to be called for the foul before it's even inbound, which potentially, see what the officials call. January into the corner. Oh, the pass inside is just too high for Abby Gay to hold on to. That was just a poor pass in the end. And that will give Galatasaray 3.1 seconds to work with. We see Raquana Williams come back into the game. No real surprise. She's been probably one of the most potent offensive forces that Galatasaray have had in this game so far. She gets hold of possession. Looks like she's almost fouled. No call either way. Flop warning given to Jovanovic, but that will be the end of the first quarter here in Istanbul. An exciting first quarter of action we've had. As expected, this one is a close one. Two top teams, tons of top talent on show.
Passionate, ambitious, elite,
verbunden, united,
inspirerend,
competitiva,
ambitiösa,
stylish,
powerful, diverse,
diferente,
beraber,
inspiring.
So at the end of the first quarter here in Istanbul, Galatasaray lead this one by 2 points. 15 to Galatasaray, 13 to Sopron. Amazing first quarter of action, as we expected, slightly low-scoring affair. But that hasn't dulled the excitement that we've had here. Leading all scorers at the moment is Bernadette Hattar. 6 points, 3 rebounds, a steal and a block. She's living up to the pre-game hype. However, on the other end of the floor, she's being matched by her former teammate and now leading contender for the MVP race, Tina Krajicek. She has 5 points, 2 rebounds and a steal as well. It really is the battle of the bigs in that first quarter, but not to be outdone. Raquana Williams is doing the job. She's got 4 points, 2 rebounds as well from the backcourt. But as we expected, this is a close game, a physical encounter. Both these teams certainly know how to play defense, and that is on show here so far in Istanbul. The crowd are joining in. You can feel the pressure, the atmosphere increasing in the arena as the game progresses. Galatasaray might be underdogs, but they enter the game on a 3-game winning streak. The Sopron top the table, so perfectly poised for another 30 minutes of world-class basketball. Second half action underway here in Istanbul. Game day 6 of EuroLeague Women. At the end of the first quarter, Galatasaray leads Sopron 15-13. Steinberger drops to the basket and one. Anita Steinberger going in and getting the job done. And at the moment, they don't have an answer for her. And in particular, Varga is really struggling to lock down Steinberger. Don't put that on Varga. There's a long list of defenders around Europe this season that have struggled to lock down Steinberger. A little bit of coaching for the 20-year-old. Definitely work in progress, Alice Varga. The same can't be said of Steinberger. She really is at the top of the game. Takes her personal tally to 7. Brooks drives inside, kicks it out. January, corner 3, it's fouled. Krajicnik's going to get called for the foul. January will head to the line for 3 free throws. Let's have a look. Yeah, that's one of those, isn't it? It makes you cringe if you've ever played basketball and flipped your ankles. That's how it happens. That said, Krajicnik didn't really go under January. January just had a slight movement forward with her feet and came down slightly forward of where she took off from. The first of 3 is good, though, from January. Her first points of the game. It's the second as well. And the third completes. All 3 from the line, brings Galatasaray's lead down to just 2 points again. Steinberger, strong move to the basket. Oh, lovely use of the pivot and goes to the reverse layup, gets the score, and the little finger wag as she comes back. She is starting to enjoy the game, and that's a worrying sight if you're a Sopron fan. And they forced a turnover, Kayla Davis. First game for Galatasaray and EuroLeague Women this season. She's having her impact felt straight away. Williams to Steinberger. Steinberger tries to feed Krajicnik. It's off the foot, though. Sideline possession for Galatasaray. Davis will come to the top to take the possession. Nice pick and roll with Krajicnik. The pass was a little bit far forward. However, it falls into the hands of Williams, and she nails the big 3. That is a big shot under a huge amount of pressure. And when shots are going like that, could it be Galatasaray's night to push the upset here? Abby Gay back to the basket, little hesitation. The defense matches up well. Steinberger, more than a match in that possession. Bilgic now calling the shots for Galatasaray. Steinberger, she's got the mismatch she wants again, this time against Petty, hands it off. Krajicnik, yes, and there's the 1-2 punch we've seen all season. Steinberger and Krajicnik, a well-oiled machine in the paint for Galatasaray. January off left, and Sopron offensively don't seem to have much composure at the moment. Need some veteran leadership to slow things down. Shot goes up and the score is good for Petty. Shea Petty coming in and just calming things down a little. She had a big game last week, 19.6 rebounds against Kursk. Williams moves it back to Steinberger, inside to Krajicnik now. Foul's going to be called on Gay. That's a smart foul, really, from Abby Gay. She knew she'd let Krajicnik establish way too low in the paint to defend. She's going to play defense. She's going to have to body her out of the paint before then. Double change, in fact, a treble change for Sopron. Galatasaray Binguljan back into the game as well. Williams now. 7-point lead for Galatasaray. Steinberger nails the three, and everything is going the way of Galatasaray at the moment. Double-digit lead for Galatasaray. 7 minutes 20 left here in the second quarter. And Coach Gaspar, no choice whatsoever but to call the timeout. His team are faltering on both ends of the floor. And this really was the final straw to break the back. Beautiful form, a lack of defensive intensity, but a great finish. Pushes Galatasaray to their first double-digit lead of the game. And they are looking good right now. It really is difficult to say where Coach Gaspar will be focusing his time out. Both ends of the floor, there are issues offensively. They're very static. They're not playing much team basketball at the moment. That needs to change. You're not going to win games in EuroLeague Women unless you're moving the ball, moving yourselves. If you're working together as a unit, that's when you'll get success. And they're certainly not doing that at the moment. They're relying on individual talent to get whatever points they can. And then defensively, they've just taken their foot off the gas a little. And that's enabled Galatasaray to get some easy scores. Sopron inbound the ball, and they want to see an immediate reaction as Galatasaray drop into a 2-3. And now they've switched out to a man. Very cunning and conniving from Coach Gouvin. Pass inside to Hattar is too long. And that little mix-up in the defense that Galatasaray put in place caused Sopron a few issues. They didn't really know how to react. Just a little lack of on-court leadership there to identify how Galatasaray defense was changing and how they should react to it. Can Galatasaray extend their lead further? Steinberger now looks to hand it off. Slick weave at the top for Galatasaray. Ball down, goes inside, hands it to Steinberger. No good this time. Hattar with the rebound, as you would expect to see. Her fourth rebound of the game. January now to Brooks. Kleishnik doing a good job on locking Hattar out of proceedings at the moment. January inside, Hattar, yes, and that's what they need to see. Sopron haven't got that 1-2 punch going. And if they can really fire that weapon up, that will get them back in the game. Steinberger now. Pass it inside. Oh, wonderful play. Rejected, though. Foul's going to be called. I can't believe it. Let's have a look at the replay. Is it the left hand? Yeah, that's what's been called, not the right. It's the left hand on the base of the back. Let's have a look. Yeah, it's the right call from the officials. She just has to drop that left hand. Get it out of the way. You can't have it on the small of the back of your opponent. Kleishnik misses the first. 76% free throw shooter prior to this evening's game. She made it to 2 EuroLeague Final Fours with Sopron. Misses a second, but Steinberger grabs the rebound, and Galatasaray continue to exert their dominance on this game. Shot clock's running out. Steinberger's not going to get it away. What's going to be called? I think Hattar's going to get called for another foul. That could be huge. Or is it an offensive foul? Let's see what the officials are saying. Yeah, second foul on Hattar. That could be issues for Sopron. Rana Williams pulls up for three. That wasn't a good-looking shot, but she was forced into it. The shot clock was down to below 5. Galatasaray's lead still at 8. Egvenek now drives inside. Free throw line jumper. Doesn't get the roll. Krajicek slides down the lane and pulls down the rebound. What transition. Steinberger, though, is blocked from behind, but the foul is called on January. And January thought she'd got her clean. Let's have a look. Well, it looked like it might be the top of her head. Tough to see. And we're seeing that in a slow-mo replay, so I certainly don't envy the officials on that one. Steinberger hits the first of her 2. Only 4 from 8 so far from the free throw line tonight, Galatasaray. And one of the saving graces for Sopron so far. Steinberger makes them pay fully from the free throw line, connecting with both of her free throws. Takes her personal tally to 14 points now. She really has warmed up early in this game. Williams slides inside, doesn't get the score again, and it really has been difficult for Sopron so far. Only 7 points in the first 5 minutes of this second quarter, whilst Galatasaray scored 15. Krajicek misses off left with that attempt. Rebound pulled down by Williams. Back out into the hands of Brooks, into Williams. Nails the 3. Wonderful selfless play by Sopron, both Williams and Brooks working together well. Timeout's going to be called, and that's a smart move by Coach Gouvin. He knows that he doesn't want to see a Sopron in full flow. He needs to stop any momentum they get. He's got timeouts to use. 4.5 minutes. Let's look at the replay. And here's the unselfish play. And that's what I was talking about. Team offense will get you points, particularly if you have the talent that Sopron have. They need to lean on that team ethos more than they have done so far, and the points will come. I have a feeling this timeout from Coach Gouvin is more about just creating a break in the momentum for Sopron rather than making any major adjustments for what Galatasaray are doing. Galatasaray ball on the baseline when we come back into the action. Just under 4.5 minutes to go here in the second quarter. And can Sopron show us why they were considered favourites heading into this one? Aydin now brings it up over the half, guarded by Egvenek. Strong move to the basket, and the defence falls apart again. Gulcan this time the one to make the most of the lack of help from the Sopron defense. January waiting to use the screen from Akar. Galatasaray defense rotates well, but they've left the shooter open at the top, but no joy from the perimeter for Sopron in that situation. Gulcan going again, loses the handle, but who's there to pick it up? Krajicek's there to pick it up. Takes her tally up to 9 now. 4 rebounds. And as we expected, the front court duo of Steinberger and Krajicek are doing all the damage. Catch and shoot. Unfortunately in and out, but Hattar is there to pick up the offensive rebound and get the score. And absolutely any which way they can get the scores at the moment just to hold themselves in the game for Sopron. Defensively is where they really need to pick up the intensity. Williams barreling away to the basket, goes strong, too strong, and that's going to be a foul on Krajicek as she goes over the top of Brianne January. Have a look at the replay. Yeah, easy foul for the officials to call. Krajicek all over the back of January. Bundling her out the way. Second foul on Krajicek. Only the second team foul of the quarter for Galatasaray, though. Chopron are in the penalty already. January now being guarded by Aydin. Pulls up, draws the foul, and that's a smart play by Briann January. Aydin pulled into that one. January will head to the line for 2 free throws. Former WNBA champion, Briann January. Winning her ring back in 2012 for the Indiana Fever. As we see, Riquna Williams ready to check back in, and she certainly had a big impact on the game. It's the second of her 2 free throws. Bilgic now bringing it up over the half for Galatasaray. They lead by 7. Chopron showing a little bit of a resurrection, a resurgence on the offensive end. Can their defense pick up the pace as well? Williams now using the Krajicek screen. Steinberger for 3. Oh, and she is absolutely on fire here today. 17 points personal. Seems unstoppable, Anita Steinberger. Petty tries to float the pass in, but Krajicek committed hard enough to create the defensive wall to get round. Steinberger just blasts to the basket, doesn't get the easy score. What would have been her easiest score of the game. She's not able to get it, but maybe the bigger prize is forcing the 3rd foul on Bernadette Hattar. That's going to push them into making the change. Abby Gay will come back in as the frontline big for Chopron. And Steinberger's at the line for 2 free throws. It's the first. And the second. She really is feeling it here today. January looks to find Gay, but the pass is too low. It's a near impossible one for Abby Gay to grab hold of. Another turnover for Chopron. It's their 8th turnover of the game. And we're still a little over 90 seconds away from the half-time break. Williams now comes back out to Bilgic. Shot clock down to 8. Steinberger, can she hold on to it? No, she can only knock it out of bounds. It'll be a Chopron ball. Shot clock was running out anyway, so it was unlikely she was going to get a good shot away. Timeout's been called by Chopron. 39-27 in favour of Galatasaray. 1 minute 18 left here in the second quarter. And this one certainly isn't going the way the form book would have suggested. Chopron came in as group leaders into this game. Only one mistake in their season so far. It was a big mistake, and it was in Istanbul, where they are now, but that's the only mistake, and that was against Fenerbahce. For Galatasaray, their season so far is already a season, a tale of 2 halves. First 2 games they were losing, not looking great. They've pushed themselves onto a 3-game winning streak. And Coach Guven now could cause the upset and potentially push his team top of the table if they're able to secure the win here today. 78 seconds left before the half-time break. Sopron would like for it to be just a single-digit deficit. Galatasaray know that a double-digit deficit would be good. Let's see how these final few possessions of the first half play out. January now doesn't use the screen. She uses it on the second calling. Pulls up at the elbow and string music for January. Bilgic. Under a minute to play in the first half. Galatasaray lead by 10. Bilgic for 3. Rolls around the rim and away. Brooks. Good patience here from Sopron. January trying to corral the troops. Ball now inside to Gay. Shot clock down to 4. Got to go strong and gets the score. And what a couple of phases of play for Sopron. Gone from down by 12 to down by just 8. 29 seconds remaining in the first half. And that is picture perfect for Sopron. Coach Gouvan forced into the timeout. He knows that he certainly can't afford Sopron to have another score in this half. Certainly not one without any reply from Galatasaray. Sopron showing what they can do offensively when they have patience and when they play team basketball. Remember, Galatasaray looking to extend their winning run out to 4 games, and this would be their biggest scalp by far in that winning run that they've had, and really would give them the confidence heading into the last few games before the Christmas break. As one of the favourites for the group, if they can nail those games as well. And a lot of it tonight goes on her shoulders. Steinberger, she's turned up in a big way for Galatasaray. 19 points, 5 rebounds in the first half. She has played pretty much every second of the first half, though. Bilgic now. Being guarded by Petty. To Williams. Shot goes up and it's good. What a play by Guljan. She points to the heavens. That is a big time score from a big time player. Williams, cancels it out in the final second of the first half. What a close to the first half of action here in Istanbul. Galatasaray 42, Sopron 34. 20 minutes gone and a big 20 minutes still to come. Here are your quarter breaks. As you can see, Galatasaray winning both quarters. The first by 2, the second quarter by 6. And you have to bear in mind that Sopron only really got their scoring going in the last minute of that second quarter, scoring 7 points in the last 90 seconds. At the halfway stage, though, Galatasaray have to put a lot of credit onto Steinberger's shoulders. She's taken the lead. 19 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, and a block to her name. Also close to double digits is a front court partner in crime, Tina Krajicnik. 9 points, 4 rebounds, 2 steals for her. The other end of the floor, the only player in double digits is Bernadette Hattar. 10 points, 5 rebounds, but more importantly, 3 fouls. She's only been on the floor 12.5 minutes. Galatasaray have certainly put pressure on her. Gabby Williams, second leading scorer for Sopron. She has 9 points and Brianne January has 7 behind her. Eight-point lead at the halfway stage, and at one point in that second quarter, Galatasaray extended their lead out to 12 points. Sopron picked up their scoring pace in the closing stages. of that second quarter. But there's a huge amount of work to be done in the locker room in the half-time break for Coach Gaspar. Offensively, they need to stick together as a team. The team has to be the focus offensively, and defensively, it just feels like the intensity, the energy levels need to rise for them to be able to lock Galatasaray out of the game a little bit more. Game day 6, top of the table versus second. We expected it to be a big one. The first 20 minutes haven't disappointed. At the halfway break, Galatasaray 42, Sopron 34. Make sure you go nowhere. We'll be back with all the second half action shortly. Welcome back to Istanbul for this EuroLeague Women Game Day 6 battle, and it certainly has been a battle between Galatasaray and Sopron. We're at the halfway stage for this one, and it's going against the form, but Galatasaray 42, Sopron 34. We knew this was going to be a close game. We thought it was going to be potentially a slightly low-scoring game. Galatasaray have had other things to say about it being low-scoring. They have put on a masterclass across the board, led by Steinberger, 19 points, along with 5 rebounds, 2 assists, and a block. And that most regular name in the top scorers of Krajcik. She has 9 points, 4 rebounds, and 2 steals as well. There's your shooting percentages. As you can see, Galatasaray being a lot more efficient, except from the free throw line, and playing far better team basketball. And offensively, that has been the problem for Sopron. They've not moved the ball. They've not leaned on each other enough within this game, and that's what leaves them down by 8. It could have been worse. Within 90 seconds before the halftime break, they went on a 7-3 scoring run, reducing Galatasaray's lead down from what was a game-high 12 points. For Sopron, as you would expect, they're being led by their big Hattar with 10 points, 5 rebounds, and a block, but probably the most scary column of the box score for her is 3 personal fouls. She's only been on the floor under 12.5 minutes. Also scoring big, Gabby Williams has 9 points and Brianne January has 7. Remember, this was top against second going into this game. Sopron were top of the table, only 1 loss to their name against Fenerbahce. Galatasaray, after 2 bad weeks at the start of the regular season, are on a 3-game winning streak, so no wonder we have this as our game of the week here in EuroLeague Women, and it's living up to the hype. And at the moment, Galatasaray are really putting Sopron to the sword, and we could see a changing of guard within the group table. Galatasaray could go top of the table today if they pick up a big enough win here against Sopron. And straight away, Coach Gaspar is risking Hattar early. And I'm sure Krajcik and Steinberger and Guljan are going to go straight at her, try and draw that 4th foul. It really will break the spirits, I think, of Sopron if they see their superstar big heading to the bench early due to foul trouble. Second half action underway here. Game day 6 of EuroLeague Women regular season. Halfway stage. Galatasaray leads Sopron 42-34. And what a steal to start the second half. Raquani Williams with the transition bucket. And Galatasaray's lead straight away back up to double digits. Petty now looking to use the pick and roll. Sending the screen away, though. Hattar now sets the screen on the wing instead. There's the roll. Hattar for the long 2, no good. Rebound falls long, though. Jumper comes raining back in. Hattar again getting involved. This time Steinberger corrals the loose ball. Rebound. Bilgic hits the floor. Manages to get the pass away, though, to Williams. Shot clock down to 4 inside. Guljan can't get the score. It's fouled hard by Jelena Brooks. That's a lovely pass by Krajcik. That's a tough pass. And that's going to send Guljan to the line for 2 shots. 80% from the free throw line prior to this evening's game. Melih Guljan. And this is the first of her 2. And if there has been a weakness in Galatasaray's game this evening, it has been from the free throw line. Shooting under 50% now. Sideline possession now for Galatasaray. And sportsmanlike foul was called on Brooks. And you just look at Krajcik, she just keeps dribbling until she uses that additional foot speed that she has over Hattar make pay. And it does, and Galatasaray back out to a game-high 12-point lead. January now. From the elbow to Brooks. Good, better ball movement from Chopron. But Galatasaray's defense rotates well. Hattar doesn't get the score, but draws the foul. Bernadette Hattar will head to the line for 2 free throws. And Steinberger rotating across to try and help Bilgic out, who was left a little bit stranded. Giving up over 30 centimeters. Hattar kicking the ball back, almost taking Krajicnik's head off. A couple of apologies from the former teammates and a few smiles. But you can see the frustration from Chopron now. And she misses the second as well. And nothing is going the way of the team in green. Buljan inside, almost stripped away, dives inside, draws the foul. Buljan will head to the line again. Another foul on Yelena Brooks. Let's have a look. She ducks under the arm. Can't see from that angle clearly. Second foul on Brooks. Buljan missed her last 2 free throws though. That's 3 in a row that she's missed, and it's clearly getting into her head a little bit. Is it the taping on her finger that's putting her shooting action off? Gets the second to go, and you see the resigned hands in the air. And she doesn't understand what's happening, but what she has done is given Galatasaray an extension on their game-high lead, 13 points. Steinberg is going to get called for that foul. 2 quick fouls in the second half for Steinberger. Remember, she's the game-high scorer, 19 points in that first half. January now hands it to Hattar. Hattar goes back to Petty. Still a little bit disjointed, the Chopron offense. Inside to Hattar. Can't get the score, but we'll go back to the free throw line. Let's see where that foul's going to be chalked up. Is it going to be another Steinberger one? I think it might. That'll be 3 fouls within the first 2 minutes of this quarter. If it is, it is. And in fact, Steinberger only on 2 fouls. The first one wasn't chalked up to her. Hattar gets to the line and makes both. And that's important for Chopron. When you're in a bit of a hole, you need to make sure that the gimmies that are free throws are converted at a high percentage. Steinberger now kicks it back out. Krajicnik. Step back jumper. Comes up short. Will she get the roll? She does. And I think that's indicative of how things have been going for Galatasaray this evening. They certainly deserve the roll with the quality that they've played with today. But even the basketball gods are shining down upon them. Petty now. Should have gone to the basket, but instead tries to throw a near impossible pass to what wasn't a great place into the corner. Williams, step back 3. No joy. That's a strong rebound from Gabby Williams. It's the score. Coast to coast from Gabby Williams. And the LA Sparks player trying to provide some leadership from her team, for her team. Buljan now hands it off to Krajicnik. Wide open. Laquana Williams nails the 3. 14-point lead for Galatasaray. Laquana Williams takes her tally into double digits. 12 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists. The 3rd player now for Galatasaray to be in double digits. Yeah, in January looking for options in front of her, but there's really nothing happening for Chopron. It's a night to forget so far. Hattar lost the control. And another turnover for Chopron. That's their 11th of the game. Steinberger back to the basket and just takes Gabby Williams to school. And Steinberger now up to 21 points. And Galatasaray are just steamrolling Sopron right now. And it feels like Istanbul might be the bogey city for Sopron. They've only lost one game this season so far, but they got absolutely hammered by Fenerbahce on the road. They've come back to Istanbul and the Turkish nightmares continue. They trail by 16 points. 5:47 left in the third quarter. Timeout's been called by Coach Gaspar. He certainly does need to talk it over with his team. Both ends of the floor, Galatasaray really are putting on a show. I look forward to seeing the updated power rankings in the coming weeks. Surely Galatasaray have shown enough to be pushed way up those rankings now. They have been very, very impressive indeed here this evening. And to be fair, with the exception of the first 2 weeks, they've been in phenomenal form. 5 minutes 49 remaining in the third quarter. A 16-point lead. It's going to take a Herculean effort from Sopron now. Break the neck, looking for options, but again, she's left blank in front of her. She comes back out. Varga for three, no good. Hattar, one-handed rebound. Almost looked like she travelled, but she managed to get the pass away before she pulled the pivot foot up. Gabby Williams, nice crossover. There's the swing pass. Hattar, free throw line, in and out. Bilgic pulls down the loose ball rebound. Galatasaray's defence just seems to hold firm for long enough. Oh, Steinberger. Just with the loss of handles, and Gabby Williams with the quick hands forcing that turnover. Halfway through the third quarter, and Galatasaray had things all their own way in this quarter. Sopron continued to struggle from on the offensive end. They've only scored 4 points in the first 5 minutes of this quarter. Gulcan now drives inside against Hattar, hands it off. And that's a tough shot by Bilgic. Sopron will knock that one away. Sopron will slow it down. Shot goes up, no good, and that's really symptomatic from what we've seen from Sopron in this game. They don't really have any rhythm, team identity on the offensive end at the moment, and it's absolutely killing them. Great defensive play from Hattar. Take the neck now. Brings it back to the top and tries to assert some control. Uses the Horns offense. Rotations are so slow, they're not crisp. The screens aren't being set hard, and there's plenty for the coaching staff to work on, hopefully within the next 13 or so minutes, to drag themselves back into this game. Williams now. Skip pass. Gulcan wide open three, no good. Rebound pulled down by Gabby Williams, and she really is trying to assert herself on the game. 11 points, 4 rebounds for her. Foul's going to be called on Gulcan. Let's have a look. Yeah, she just steps across. Takes one for the team, really. There's the block by Hattar. And that is tough to shoot over a player that stands at 2 meters 8 centimeters tall, and for Bilgic even more so, giving up 25 centimeters in that battle. As we see Bacharan come into the game for Galatasaray, her second stint on the floor. Fegvanek now drives inside, looks to hand it off, but that's an easy read for Williams. Gabby Williams grabs it for Sopron though, and gets the score. And Gabby Williams is doing absolutely everything she can for her team right now. She is the leading light for Sopron, and the team need to lean on her and replicate her energy and intensity if they're going to get back into this one. Timeout's been called. A little over 3 minutes to play in the third quarter. Galatasaray still with a commanding 14-point lead. And it really is down to Sopron to make the change. If Galatasaray carry on in the same vein, they'll walk away comfortable winners. "13 minutes left on the total game clock, and Galatasaray look in control, but they also know how much firepower comes from the team in green, and they have to be on their top of their game for every second of this matchup." Aydin now progresses it up over the half for Galatasaray. Galatasaray sitting in a 2-3 zone. Let's see what impact that has. Shot goes up from Kayla Davis, and that's no good. Let's see how Galatasaray adjusts to the zone defense. Pass inside is off target by Williams this time. Shot clock still has 10 on it though. Fegvanek jumps in, doesn't get the score again. That's off the hands of Abby Gay. So that will remain, sorry, that will turn over to Galatasaray. Raquana Williams. Using the Horns offense as we see Basharan fade to the basket, but the ball comes back out to Guljan. She can't get the shot to drop though, and couple of scrappy offenses from both teams, and that really does sum things up for Sopron, just throwing the ball away. Guljan out at the races, can't get the score. Will go to the line for 2 free throws. And let's have a look at the pass here inside. Yeah, easy call for the officials. The defense from Jovanovic, clearly a foul. Guljan will be happy to see her free throws dropping again. Hasn't had the best night from the free throw line. That score also means that Raquana Williams takes her assist tally up to 5. As we see rarely Steinberger and Krajicek on the bench together. A little bit of full court pressure there from Galatasaray. Under 2 minutes left in the third quarter. Off the foot of Raquana Williams, so the shot clock's going to reset to 14 and will be Sopron ball on the sideline. And just looking at the Sopron players, they're not playing with the intensity. It feels more like a training session at the moment. They're not putting in the effort that they need to come away with it. Some of them are. The likes of Gabby Williams is certainly putting everything she can on the floor, but it needs to be matched by every single player that steps on the floor in green for the remaining, well, a little under 12 minutes of this game. Williams for 3. Air ball from her. And Galatasaray come away with the rebound. Sopron still sitting in their 2-3 zone. Bilgic swings the pass around the corner. Guljan drives in, short with the jumper. And Sopron's defense certainly looks better when it's playing a zone. Williams comes the other way, reverse layup's no good. And the pace is gradually increasing in this one. Foul's going to be called on Fegvanek, or is it going to be on Gay? But the zone defense from Sopron certainly seems to stifle Galatasaray somewhat. However, it is important to note that their 2 frontline bigs are not on the floor at the moment. They're on the bench, Steinberger and Krajicek. Davis inside, strong move, no good. Rebound by Gay. January now. for Chopron. Balls up for the jumper. Comes up short. Neither team finding their jumper range right now. As we final minute of this third quarter. 16-point lead for Galatasaray. They'll certainly be the happiest of the two teams from this third quarter performance. Bilgic for three. Too heavy-handed. Rebound pulled down by Jovanovic. Shot clock turned off. Chopron will look to take the final shot, I'm sure, of this third quarter. Hands it off to January. 5 seconds remaining. Shot goes up from outside. No good. Into the hands of Guljan. And that's going to be the end of the third quarter. Another dominant quarter for Galatasaray. 3 quarters down, 1 to go. Galatasaray 56, Chopron 40. There your quarter breaks, and terrifying reading if you're a Chopron fan. Only scoring 6 points in that third quarter. And it really did turn into the low-scoring affair we expected. 16-point lead for Galatasaray at the end of 3.
Passionate.
Ambitious.
Elite.
Verbunden. United.
Inspirerend.
Competitiva.
Ambitiozna.
Stylish. Powerful.
Diverse.
Diferente.
Beraber.
Inspiring.
Welcome back to the top of the table clash here in Istanbul. Galatasaray lead by 16 with just 10 minutes still to play. Remember, Chopron were top of the table. Galatasaray in second place. As it stands, potentially Galatasaray could finish the week top of the table depending on results around this group. But they really have hammered home Galatasaray the last few weeks. They're on a 3-game win streak, and you can see exactly why. Their team identity is there. Their team ethos on both ends of the floor is there, and they are putting it all out there. The energy, the intensity is at a much higher level than their opponents, and that's what's given them their 16-point lead. 10 minutes to play, and that team know that they're going to cause a little bit of an upset if they're able to come away with the win. Final quarter action underway. Game day 6, EuroLeague Women regular season. Galatasaray 56, Chopron 40. Top of the table clash. Aydin into the corner, wide open. Davis, she's short, grabs her own offensive rebound though. Looks to hand it off to Steinberger. Aydin, catch and shoot for 3, in and out as well. Hattar grabs the rebound for Chopron. And Chopron will need to be nearly perfect in this final quarter to come away with the win. Fegvanek hands it back to Varga. Nails the 3, and that is exactly what they needed. Opening possessions, get some scores. Hits the 3. Galatasaray's lead down to 13. Chopron continue to sit in this 2-3 zone. Galatasaray did struggle against it. They only scored 14 in the third. Krajnik now looking for options. Back out to Aydin. Aydin for 3. And that's an air ball. Are there some nerves from Galatasaray? Do they have what it takes to close this game out, secure what would be their biggest win of the season so far? Coach Gouvin making 2 early changes here in the fourth quarter. Guljan in, Williams in. January hands it off now. Jovanovic tries to find the passing lane to Hattar, and that's a near impossible passing lane. Straight down the throat when she's being fronted. That's got to be a 1 in 100 chance of making that pass stick. The corner, Williams now hands it to Bilgic. To Guljan. Krajnik. Skuljam with a little head fake. That one swatted away by Hattar. Only 2 seconds left on the shot clock, though, and this zone defense from Chopron is certainly working, and you do wonder, why did they not try this earlier in the game to stem the flow? Ruqaina Williams draws the foul. She'll go to the line for 3 free throws as Fegvanek gets suckered into that one. A little fake was enough to get Fegvanek off her feet, off the ground. Williams hits the first of her 2 free throws. And the second. In fact, she was attempting the 3, so she'll have another one to go. And the third as well. Takes her personal tally up to 15 points now. Ruqaina Williams just 2 points shy of what she posted against Girona last week. Jovanovic for 3. Oh, that's ugly, but it'll count. Off the glass for the 3. Didn't hear the shout of bank. But the bank is certainly open for Nevena Jovanovic. Inside, Steinberger, back to Krajicek. Soft right hand is too soft from Krajicek. She'll go against Hattar. Travelling violation is going to be called on Krajicek. Turnover, possession to Chopron, and they're ready to get things underway again. Fegvanek moves it now to Varga. Varga, long 2, off left, and the mid-range game from Chopron has absolutely deserted them this evening. It'd be interesting to look at the shot chart post-game. Pull that one apart. They really haven't made hay from that distance. Bilgic for 3 off left as well. Hattar grabs the rebound. Hands it off to January. Wide open, shot goes up, no good. The Iron spits that one back, and both teams seem to have a lid on their baskets right now. Krajicek, long 2. Short again. Chopron with another rebound, and although neither team want to be missing shots, Galatasaray will be happy that the clock continues to tick down at a relatively rapid pace. Drive inside, has to throw it up herself, didn't want to. Foul's going to be called, I think, on Krajicek. She hits the floor hard after clashing with Hattar. Hattar will head to the line for 2 free throws. Let's have a look. She's got her hands around her waist. I'm not sure what I can see there. Is it ankle? Oh, youch. Anyone that's played basketball, their ankles immediately after seeing that replay are hurting. That's not a sight we want to see. One of the greats of women's basketball just getting to her feet. Good to see she's back on her feet, but there's certainly a hobble there. Looks like she's going to stay on the floor, though. She's old school. Tighten up your boot. That used to be the crazy advice we'd give each other on the floor. And you'd flip your ankle, but Hattar will head to the line for 2 free throws. She hits the first of her 2. She's got a double-double, 13 points, 10 rebounds now for Bernadette Hattar. She's pretty much beaten her season average as well, even though she's been in foul trouble. 11-point lead now for Galatasaray. Krajicek moves it back out. Williams, long 3, no good. Hattar picks up her 11th rebound of the game. And with 6 minutes to play, Chopron are still in this one. Fegvanek. Inside to Hattar. Krajicek, strong play. Just fronts the big. Gets in the passing lane. And goes strong for the interception. Steinberger drives inside, has to come back out. Krajicek, baseline jumper is good, and Tina Krajicek is just an absolute terror offensively. She really is. The ability to score from so many different places in so many different ways. She's up to 15 points personal. Galatasaray's lead back out to 13. Williams inside, teardrop right hand. Nice and soft, but not soft enough. Hattar steps out of bounds with the possession, so it'll be Galatasaray ball. Krajicek heads to the bench, much to the appreciation of her teammates. 5 minutes to play. Galatasaray lead by 13. Bilgic now inside to Steinberger. The defense has to collapse on Steinberger. Oh, look at the pass. Can it be finished? Oh, it can't. That would have been a dream play by Steinberger. I think she threaded it through the legs of Hattar. Williams. Hattar, 2. Hits it. Free throw line jumper. It's a side of the game that Bernadette Hattar has worked on considerably, and it really has changed what a weapon she is offensively. People can't just lock her down. They have to come out with her now. Guljan, Williams, Steinberger, 3, nails it. And Galatasaray's team offense is a thing of beauty right now. This really is getting to the last throw of the game for Sopron. What do they have? They have anything in the gas tank? Any surprises that they can pull out? Davis misses the jumper. That looked like it was off Guljan, but tapped by Petty, so it's going to remain Galatasaray ball. $14-point lead from what has been an exceptionally impressive performance from Galatasaray. Sopron now dropping back into that 2-3 again. Bilgic to Steinberger. Back to Bilgic for 3. And Hattar pulls down yet another rebound, but the ball is stripped away. And Galatasaray will go again. The shot clock fully resets. They had a 24 to go at. Oh, and the pass is off target. Gabby Williams will take that one and run out in transition for an easy 2. And this is what Sopron need to do. They need to build from defensive intensity. Defensive hustle can get them back in this game. They're not going to be just able to outscore Galatasaray. They're going to have to beat them defensively. Steinberger now waiting for the screen. Asheran came out. Steinberger puts the shot up. No good. Rebound is pulled down by Gabby Williams again. That's her 7th rebound of the game. She hands it inside. Foul's going to be called, I think, on Steinberger. Let's have a look. Yeah, the little Euro step tricked her a little bit. Foul called. It's the right call. She's certainly not straight up or moving backwards. Timeout's going to be called here. 2 minutes 49 left on the game clock. And Sopron know they're in the last chance saloon right now. They trail by 12. They're going to have to be near perfect for the remainder of this game. And really, as I say, defense is absolutely key. They need to pretty much lock out Galatasaray now and go on a scoring rampage on the other end to come away with the win. Under 3 minutes to play, and Coach Gouvan, I'm sure, is trying to hold back the excitement that he has. His team have put in the shift. The game plan has been executed to near perfection. There's only a few small areas of the court that potentially they could have done slightly better. Free throw line, potentially. Dealing with this 2-3 zone, potentially. But they really have put an unbelievable performance in, Galatasaray. Looks like Galatasaray are going to move into the 2-3 zone as well. Into the corner for the 3. In and out. Rebound falls into the hands of Bilgic eventually. Gulcan now. Back to Bilgic. To Williams. And Galatasaray are just going to run the clock. Time management is key right now. Sopron need to step up. They need to step out of their zone a little bit and put more pressure on Gulcan for 3. That one's off target. Gabby Williams again with another rebound. She hands it off to Brooks. It's knocked away, though, by Steinberger. And you have to, although Sopron have played poor at times, Gabby Williams has been one of the bright sparks. 15 points, 8 rebounds in her performance. And she's tried as hard as she can to ignite some energy in her teammates. There's the foul. That one's going to be called on Basharan. Brooks at the line for 2 free throws. And this is the first of her 2. The team have been dominant from the free throw line. Sopron 9 from 12 now. Galatasaray only 12 from 19. That is definitely the biggest weakness in their game and misses both. And that's absolutely heartbreak if you're a Sopron fan. Slim chances of coming back into this one. You do need to make things like free throws count. Bilgic now uses the Steinberger screen. Into Krajicek. Krajicek against Hattar. Into Steinberger, and Galatasaray, as always, patient. Wow-wee! Steinberger has had a huge plays in this game. And there is another up to 26 points. She's only 1 rebound away from a very impressive double-double. That is the score from Petty. Bilgic now brings it up over the half, being guarded by Brianne January. Steps in, elbow jumper, Gulcan, no good. Hattar, another rebound. That's her 13th of the game. Petty now, hands it to January. January with a skip pass. That's a tough shot. Hattar, another rebound. Moves it. January will put the 3 up, rattles that one home. And scarily for Galatasaray, their double-digit lead is no more. Sopron are within 9, 1 minute 10 to play. Surely this is a step too far for Sopron. Timeout has been called. Let's have a look at the ball movement, and that's Brianne January rattling home the 3. That moves her up to double digits. Only 3 assists on the night for Brianne January. Usually more of a facilitator than a scorer, but the team have needed her. She's stepped in and given them a last glimmer of hope. This really is for Galatasaray to blow right now. It's all about time management, control and poise. Galatasaray can exhibit that and they'll walk away with a huge win here on game day 6. You wonder what Coach Gaspar has drawn up. And remember, it's not just about the win. There's head-to-head to consider as well. That could come into play somewhere. You seed for the second round if both these teams were to make it through. So I'm sure that's at the back of the mind for Coach Gaspar. They don't, as much as they want to chase the win, they don't want to give up easy buckets. They're going to put a little bit of full court pressure on, the first we've really seen today. And they've thrown it away straight away. Brooks now gets it back. January inside, Hattar. Draws the foul, gets the score. Oh my goodness me. That's 5 quick points for Sopron. The chance to add another from the free throw line for Hattar. Steinberger gets called for the foul. There are going to be some nervous fans in the stands here in Istanbul for the next 61 seconds. That's the fourth foul on Steinberger. We see Gulcan come back in and Aydin check out. Can Hattar hit the free throw? It's critical that she does. She does! A 6-point lead, a 2-possession lead now for Galatasaray. The pressure continues from Sopron. Will Galatasaray buckle again? Nope, they get it into the hands of Krajicek. They're going to run some clock now. Bilgic. Foul's going to be called. That one on Petty. And that's the last gimme foul for Sopron. Another timeout's been called. 48.7 seconds remaining on the game clock. Galatasaray lead this one by 6. Do remember, at one point in the third quarter, they led by 16. Sopron have slowly but surely fought their way back into this one. They have scored twice as many points in the last quarter as Galatasaray have. Sopron have scored 20, Galatasaray only 10 in this final period of action. Is complacency set in for Galatasaray? Is that what we're looking at right now? Can Coach Gaspar orchestrate what would be one of the great comebacks in EuroLeague women history? It really, really, truly would. Has his team got it in them? They haven't shown a huge amount of shooting prowess from range today. They're 6 from 22, so they're only 27%. They've taken plenty. They've just not hit that many. But they do have the talent on the floor right now to hit threes. But Galatasaray look like they're going to try and clock manage first. Almost lost. Williams now back out to Steinberger into the corner. Bilgic, no good. Rebound pulled down by Gabby Williams. Smartly, she brings it up over the halfway line. She's fouled by Bilgic. And that's going to send Gabby Williams to the free throw line. I'm not sure that's a smart play by Bilgic. Enabling Sopron to chip away at their lead with the clock stationary. Oh, but Williams misses from the free throw line. That's heartbreak. She's 0 from 2 from the free throw line today. Hits the next. The gap is down to 5 points. Krajicek out. Aydin in. And the final pieces of the puzzle, the chess moves from the coaching staff, are now really going to pay off. Full court pressure from Sopron. Ball inbounded to Aydin. Gulcan now manages to get it over to Williams. Williams gets it up over the half, and the foul's going to be called on Gabby Williams. That will send Raquana Williams, I think, to the free throw line. Let's have a look, see. No, in fact, they've got fouls to give. So Galatasaray back at the sideline. Not really what Sopron wanted right now. 5-point lead for Galatasaray. Steinberger now hands it back. Bilgic goes back to Williams. Are they going to foul? About a 12-second differential between shot clock and game clock. They're not going to. Aydin steps in. Sorry, Bilgic misses. Gets it to Williams. Williams now out at the races. She needs to decide early what she's going to do. She does, but she misses, and that's surely the final nail in the coffin for Sopron. They made a valiant effort to come back into this game. They put everything they could into it. Much on the shoulders of Gabby Williams, who missed that shot. But they just left themselves too high a mountain to climb. Aydin now to Steinberger. Foul's going to be called on Yelena Brooks. Sends Steinberger to the line for 2 free throws, and Steinberger certainly will have her best game of the night. She's already had, best game of the season. She's already had her best game of the season. Previous high score was in game day 4 against Gdansk, where she had 21 points, 8 rebounds, She has 26 points already, 9 rebounds. She's just 1 rebound away from that elusive double-double. Well, I don't think she could care less if Galatasaray can come away with the win, and you can see how much it means to Coach Guven. He's being very reserved, but you have the energy coming off him of a man who's very proud about what his team have achieved here today. Long pass is thrown. Petty launches the 3, no good, and that's all they wrote here in Istanbul this evening. And what a game and what a result. The coaches shake hands on the halfway line, and the table-topping Sopron have picked up their 2nd loss of the regular season as Galatasaray's unbeaten run just marches on. They're up to 4 games unbeaten. They didn't give their fans an easy task on this one, led by a big amount, and took it all the way to the buzzer. But final score here in Istanbul, Galatasaray 67, Sopron 61. Plenty of smiling faces from the Galatasaray players, and understandably so. That is a big scalp for them to claim here on game day 6. And Krajicek there absolutely played her part in this wonderful game and this big win for Galatasaray. She walks away with 15 points, 6 rebounds and 4 steals. Steinberger there as well. She had a massive game, 27 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists. Joining them on double digits was also Raquana Williams, 15 points, 5 rebounds, 7 assists. Some massive, massive performances throughout the roster as they celebrate with their fans, who've made plenty of noise throughout the game. For Sopron, on the other hand, it's back to the drawing board. And a few interesting discussions on the flight home. Hatta led them tonight, 19 points, 14 rebounds. Another huge performance from the big. Gabby Williams really put some emphasis and intelligence and intensity into the game. 16 points, 9 rebounds for her. Also in double digits was Brianne January. She had 10 points and 4 assists. But there you go, that's the picture that sums the night up. The Galatasaray faithful in the stands. And some smiling faces on those Galatasaray players. That's a big win. Chance of moving top of the table with that win at the start of the night. Sopron were top of the table, 4 wins, 1 loss. Galatasaray had gone 3-2. It pushes both of them to a 4-2 record now. And then we just look around the rest of Group B to decide who finishes top of the table after 6 games. And this is a game where players don't want to leave the floor. You want to enjoy it all you can. You absolutely want to cherish every single moment. But attention will start moving towards next week. Game day 7. And Galatasaray have an arch enemy to slay in the shape of Fenerbahce. That one's on the road. That will be on Fenerbahce's court on Wednesday, the 8th of January. As for Sopron, they have a game next Thursday against Londe. Oh, in fact, sorry, the Galatasaray game is against Skio first, and then the following week is Fenerbahce. As for Sopron, they have Londe next week. That one's back at home, and I'm sure that will be blessed release for Sopron. Both their games in Istanbul this season so far against Fenerbahce and Galatasaray have ended in losses. They'll be glad to get back to their own floor and hopefully pick up some wins. But what a game we've had here this evening. Plenty of action, plenty of talent on show, and my goodness me, a huge amount of credit has to go to Coach Guven and his coaching team. They clearly had a game plan, and his team executed it to perfection. At the end of the game here, though, in Istanbul, Galatasaray take the win. Here are your shooting percentages. As you can see, both teams shooting relatively similar percentages. Neither team shooting particularly well from the free throw line. But Galatasaray come away with the win. Really was those 2 threes more that they got. Rebounding battle, as we expected, was big, but relatively even. That's the most telling stat for me. Galatasaray played far more team basketball than Sopron did, and that has paid full dividends here this evening in Istanbul. That's enabled them to come away with a slight shock win. Maybe no shock for the Galatasaray fans or the players or coaching staff, but for the neutral, Sopron would have entered the game as slight favourites. As the players will make their way back to the locker room, I'm sure they'll be allowed, at least this evening, to enjoy that big win before it's back to preparations for their domestic league at the weekend and then their next EuroLeague women game next week. But what a game, a real treat for all the basketball fans across the world. These two teams put on a hell of a show for us this evening. Galatasaray in dominant form. Sopron fighting all the way to the final seconds of the game. But Galatasaray pick up the win here in Istanbul. The final score, Galatasaray 67, Sopron 61. Thank you so much for joining me, and make sure you come back soon for more EuroLeague women action.